Loved you from the first time you called me late. Loved you for your wits and your wicked games. Yeah, always on my mind, always in my brain. Yeah, with you the summer came and went in a day, and I've been.
Hello friends, welcome back to my channel. Also, welcome if you are new, and I hope you guys are ready to get motivated. This video took so long. I wanted to get everything done, absolutely everything. So this is multiple days, inside, outside, top to bottom, just really working on this house, every nook and cranny. I was just at a point where there was a bunch of stuff bothering us. There's also projects we were getting done and everything. So we have a ton going on. Starting off in the boys' bedroom, I wanted to strip their beds. And you guys know I don't clean up the boys' rooms on a regular basis, but I do like to, when I'm doing a more thorough clean, to go in here and do it to mommy's standards. Plus, with them being back in school, I really only make them focus on their room like hardcore on the weekends. I don't know. I'm one of these moms that I feel like they spend so much time at school and then they come home and have homework that if they want to then just go and relax and play some video games, I'm all for it, as long as they get their chores done on the weekend. So I'm just going around, dishes galore. You gotta love children, and tidying everything up.
Since the first time that I sat by your side, ooh, and I've been on my knees thinking time is gonna fix me inside. Oh, no, nothing's gonna make me forget, and I don't think I want to forget anyway. Yeah, yeah. No, nothing's gonna make me forget, and I don't think I want to forget anyway.
I'm making sure to get as much off the floor as possible. You can see Freya's being my little helper, getting the stuff under the desk, at least some of it. But I wanted to run the mop vacuum in here. I did, though, have to go in and vacuum out my washing machine. We had gone to the beach and gotten some new photos of the kids and everything, and their clothes were full of sand, which in that time also meant my laundry machine was full of sand. But I always like to go in when it comes to the bedding with this OxyClean. It's also an odor reducer. I use white vinegar as my fabric softener. It really, really helps with, once again, any odors or anything like that. But like I said, then I just had the mop vacuum go in their room. This thing is amazing. I love this, especially when I'm like trying to get everything done. Just being able to not have to worry about vacuuming and mopping their bedrooms is a huge relief and allows me to move on, like here, going into the kitchen.
Wide, wild world, wide, wild world. Baby got me
So one of the chores that the boys have is the dishwasher. So I don't usually have to unload it. It is a little bit different once again in the winter when the kids are in school. I do it more often. So I'm just loading it with all the dishes that I found in their room and trying to just get this kitchen completely back in order. It actually wasn't too bad on this day, but I had dishes that I had washed the night before that needed to get put away. I had my incubator. It's not even the incubator. It was just the box sitting on the counter that I had to put away. If you guys didn't know, we just had a recent hatch of quail, which I'm super excited about. Bobby built us a bigger cage outside. That way we could house more quail. And that's why I have the incubators out again. We actually also might have some ducks that are going broody, which I'm really, really excited about because you're supposed to have like a 5-to-1 ratio of boy to girls when it comes to ducks because the boys are a little frisky and one girl would be stressed out. So really hoping they go broody. Muscovies are supposed to be amazing parents, and it will just be really exciting to have some baby Muscovies in our backyard.
In this wide, wild world. Baby got me something, something, something. Baby got me something.
You guys know when it comes to laundry, it is an all-day activity, so you're going to see me coming in and out of this laundry room a lot today to try and make sure everything got done. Also, though, if you're new here and you're trying to figure out why I'm talking about quail and Muscovies and all of this, we have been practicing on being more self-sufficient of a family. So we do more of like a suburban homesteading. So our quail produce eggs, our ducks also produce eggs, and we've been working on gardening and a bunch of other stuff. Plus, I am an animal lover. Really, really hoping that in the next couple of years that my parents and Bobby and I are going to go in on buying some land and have a larger homestead set up. I just love that idea. We've been talking about it now for a while, and it just seems so nice. I am someone that I don't love the idea of nursing homes. So the reason we want my parents to go in, even though they are not that old, my dad is 60, my mom's 59. When they do get older, I would much rather have land that they live on with us. They can stay in their house and still be taken care of without being sent to a nursing home. That's my dream. So cross my fingers that we can make that come true, because I know obviously my parents would rather not be in a nursing home, and I also think it would be great for our kids in the future if they have kids, that they could have a small house on the homestead and be near grandma and grandpa or Bobby and I or whatever. So I know it sounds a little crazy. People always think I'm crazy when I talk about a homestead and whatnot, but I feel like as I get older, the idea of creating a stronger family unit is something I feel very, very strongly about. And I don't know. I love that idea. I also look at the cost of living nowadays and houses nowadays. Also, when I say land, I'm talking about 20 acres. So if my kids did have a house on our land, it's not like we would be on top of each other. I'd like enough acreage that we would have land between us, and it's more like living in the same subdivision.
If I could, I would give you the moon. Say stop if I'm coming in too soon. Colliding like celestial bodies. Oh, oh. Celestial bodies. Celestial bodies.
Freya is definitely my little tornado, and if you have ever gone in your kid's room and just felt overwhelmed, I highly recommend grabbing a broom and just sweeping everything into the middle. It takes down the anxiety of cleaning up the mess so much more. Like, it's so much easier this way, even though it's the same amount of mess, just having it in one area, at least in my mind, like, tricks you to make it seem a lot easier. She does help out with cleaning her room, but she's 3, so there's some grace there for sure. I also need to go through and declutter her room again and her clothing because she's growing out of stuff, and it's hard to keep up at this age. They grow out of toys and clothes and everything so quickly that I definitely need to go through and do a whole nother declutter. I was super excited though. That big dollhouse we actually found at a rummage sale just the other week. She loves it. We actually found 2 and they were $10 a piece. So we grabbed those for her since she loves her Barbies and her dolls and playing pretend. But yeah, definitely if you ever feel overwhelmed with your kids' stuff, 1, baskets. I am not someone that wants to organize my kids' toys. Not because I wouldn't love it to be organized. I would. But I know that it's not going to stay organized. It's just, it won't. So I love this bin system in her room. Every once in a while, I'll go in and organize it. Usually when I'm doing a big declutter, because I'm dumping everything out anyway, I do it. But most of the time, it's just these bins. You throw everything in them, you put them away, and it looks neat and clean. And for me, that is what is most important, is it looking neat and clean. However, as I was going through it, I knew that shelf wasn't being practical, and that chair she doesn't use anymore. So those going straight to donations.
Superheroes, our silver linings, just keep on moving to the beat. Paralyzing every pore, oh, you feel it taking over you. To the center of your core, the lies are getting overused. When you are under the weather, getting caught in the storm, do you remember?
I have learned it's so important to just declutter on a regular basis. Makes life so much easier. The other thing is, Freya does not have nearly as many clothes as her brothers did at her age. Because another thing I have learned is there is no point. Little kids have their favorite clothes. And for the most part, those are going to be the 7 outfits they wear every single day. So you wash them all the time because they love them, and it's not worth the meltdown. As you can see, Freya loves dresses. Any pretty dress she is obsessed with. But yeah, I've definitely learned the abundance of children's clothes is not worth it at all. I also don't hold on to kids' clothes anymore. There's so many great ways to get them for cheap. Facebook Marketplace, you can easily resell and buy new when needed. So I personally go for that. I am someone that I need my house to be decluttered, and I've learned this as I got older, that it is so much better to just let go. And it can sometimes be hard because you spent the money on it and you feel like it might be a waste, but there's so many things that you can do to save money or recoup that money. I know in our area we have a couple like baby kid Facebook pages that's even free. Like, people are just getting rid of it, and it's a great way to get rid of your stuff and get new stuff in. But then I'm having the mop vacuum go into her room as well. Like I said, this is just a huge time saver. So I have it go in here. It does a phenomenal job at getting these areas really clean, especially since you think it doesn't have the same foot traffic as like the main living area where the dogs are. People are coming in and out all the time and everything else.
Hungry to eat out, too dressed up to stay in. I guess I'll call and ask around to see if someone's in for the win. And we all got different highs, and no one likes to wait. No patience.
So you guys keep asking about our Halloween decorating. You guys know Bobby loves to decorate for Halloween and Christmas. I obviously love Christmas also. I go all out when it comes to inside. So he's probably going to start decorating at the end of the month. Since moving down here, we try and do it end of September just because of hurricane season. You're pretty much out of the woods here, and we just don't want to see anything get broken. But he is already talking about it so much every single day about what he wants to do and everything. So he's definitely ready to get it all done. This is the kids' bathroom, and I'm just giving it a really good wipe down. That plant definitely needed to get dusted. All the mirrors, the toilet. I will say, though, ever since changing this toilet to the flush sides, if you need a new toilet, please, please, please do yourself the favor and look into the flush side toilets, especially in children's bathrooms. Oh my goodness, this makes life so much easier, not only for me, but I have the kids often wipe up their bathrooms. Once again, I come in here and do a good deep cleaning every once in a while, but for daily cleaning, I leave that on the boys. They're old enough that I want them to know how to do this. Plus, I want to make sure in the future my daughter-in-laws appreciate having a man in the house that knows how to clean and is willing to help out. So they are in charge 90% of the time of keeping this bathroom neat and tidy. And obviously, once Freya gets a bit older, she will have those same responsibilities.
Make way, double trouble in paradise. And patience, it's a death dance. We ain't got nothing to lose. Staring up is what we do.
So I love this spin brush for this task right here, but I use it all over the place. The brushes are super easy to clean and sanitize because they come off really easy. But so that I am not like really straining myself to get in and scrub around a toilet, I love this thing. I've talked about it a lot lately. I do have it linked in my Amazon store, and then I also try and link it with the new YouTube links that they have. If you guys have noticed, in the left-hand corner of the videos in the beginning, it'll show products. I've been trying to link it there as well for you guys if you guys are looking for it. I know I was getting a couple comments of people not finding it. But then going in with my steam cleaner, I don't use my steamer on a regular basis, but every once in a while, I really love pulling this out, especially in bathrooms. I don't know. There's something about doing a really good steam clean that I just feel like makes certain areas of your house just feel so much cleaner.
Wanna go, you know how much I hate sleeping alone. I can never make it on my own. Tell me what I'm gonna do. Tell me how I'm gonna live my life without you. Yeah, tell me why we don't make sense. Tell me how I'm gonna get through.
You guys can use this as your reminder that if you have anything in the washer and dryer, to go switch it over. This day I was literally setting alarms on my Google to remind me to check the laundry because getting all the laundry done was so important to me, and I am notorious for forgetting to do it. And I had a little bit of everything in here. I had just like regular blankets that I was trying to... The kids are really good at stealing the blankets that belong in the family room and bringing it to their bedrooms, so I put those back away in the family room. But then getting all the kids' blankets all folded up. They're a lot like me, and these, like, what are they? Not velvet. That is totally the wrong word, but you know what I mean. Those super cozy, fuzzy blankets, they're obsessed with them, which is why I have so many of them, and they still always steal mine, even though I've bought them their own. But now going in and cleaning these doors. So this hallway, and I'm sure you guys have places like this in your house also, gets horribly neglected. And it's because it's a hallway. It's one of those areas that I do all the what I would call important areas of my house clean. And by the time I even think about the hallway, I'm exhausted from cleaning the rest of the house. So I knew on this day I wanted to get the hallway really clean. So that's wiping down the baseboards, cleaning the doors, doing all the stuff that often seems like a not important task, so it gets pushed off to the side. That was on my to-do list today. Also, I have no idea what black gunk was all around this hinge, but that was gross. Luckily, I got it all cleaned up, but I was like, what? Why is it turning black?
We run away to get us up when we're low. Just chase the waves. We'll make it up as we go. If you're heavy, I'll show you where to go. Won't you set free? Behind the town for low, we run away.
So I am using Dawn Power Wash on all of these because I just love Dawn Power Wash. But I was noticing real quick on this slatted door, which by the way, I despise these slatted doors, but I was not going to replace this door because it's in perfect condition and there's no reason to. using the coned shape scrubber worked so well on this and made it so much quicker. If you guys have these doors, you know how like frustrating they can be to clean, because it's just it's kind of like blinds in your house. It's very tedious. They collect a ton of dirt, but this definitely made it a lot easier. But so in the last video, I asked you guys if you have ever made the refills of Dawn Power Wash. So many of you have said you did and you love it. So I'm definitely going to be doing it. And I also got a message from one of you guys how you said you make an entire gallon worth of refill in an old vinegar bottle. That way you're not like always having to remake it when you run out. I am totally stealing that idea. So thank you so much for messaging me on Instagram and sending me that, because that's just genius. And this is why I love this community, because I know a lot of you guys say how I motivate you and teach you new things, but you guys do the same for me. Like, I get so much motivation from you guys, and I'm always learning new things from you guys. So I love this community. All of you guys are absolutely amazing. And I appreciate you so much for being here, supporting me, sharing my videos, all those things. So big thank you. And super big thank you for sending me your recipes on making the Dawn Power Wash.
Don't get in our way, 'cause we won't waste more time. We will go our way until we go nothing in our way until we go flatline.
I think one of the other reasons I forget about these doors is it can be really tedious. Like, it seems fast watching these videos, but it really does take a while. So getting this all done on this day definitely made me feel a lot better. I have to do this also in the hallway, which I did not get done on this day. The hallway between the kitchen and our bedroom is another area that it's not a big hallway, but desperately needs this same like deep cleaning done on it, because it's just another area that I end up neglecting. There's photos on the wall that need to get dusted. The doors need to get cleaned. So that's definitely going to be one of my next projects that I tackle, is that hallway, just so it's done and I can feel so much better. It's funny because it doesn't matter how, well, one, YouTube lies to you when it comes to how clean our houses are, because the camera is very forgiving when it comes to dirt and fingerprints and whatnot. But also, like, there's always going to be hidden areas that you don't touch as often as other areas. Like, sure, my kitchen is pretty much always clean, but I am in there every single day making meals and doing stuff. Same with the family room and dining room. Those areas, sure, they're pretty much clean all the time because I'm always there. It's top of mind situation. But I know we all have those areas in our house where it's not top of mind and those dust bunnies are collecting. So here's your reminder to make a list of your areas that are collecting dust and you need to tackle, because it's so easy to have these areas and you may be thinking of, oh, it's just my hallway going to the bedrooms. But that area is just as important as the rest of your house. So put it on your to-do list this week and let's tackle it together.
Everyone needs to care around the world, everywhere about the way we like it to be. I'm telling you, now's the time to define who we are, draw the line and make it like we want it to be. Who's gonna be there to put up a fight? Who's gonna turn all the laws in our eyes? Waiting for a miracle.
I will say though, from these angles, I definitely need to do some touch-up work on all of my baseboards. It's crazy to think that all of this was recently painted within about a year to just over a year. But you guys know, if you have pets and kids, baseboards definitely get beat up the worst.
Who's it gonna be? Who's it gonna be? Who's it gonna be? Who's it gonna be? Yeah, guess it's gonna have to be us. I'm asking you, who's gonna be there to put up a fight? Who's gonna turn all the laws in our eyes? We're waiting for a miracle, yeah. Who's gonna stand up and give us the truth? Who's gonna make it better for me and you? Guess it's gonna have to be us.
After I got all the kids' bedding done, I decided that I would go in our room and do our bedding as well. I was kind of playing it by ear on this day. I really wanted to wash our bedding, but at the same time, I know doing all the other laundry can get time consuming and whatnot. So that is why I had not made my bed on this day. Like I said, I was hoping to get my bedding done, and luckily I did have the time. So I decided it was perfect to get all my stuff done. Plus, I do love getting into a freshly washed bed that still, this is going to sound weird, but that like light smell of bleach, since I do bleach all of our bedding. I just love that. But then moving into our dog room, sunroom, Florida room, whatever you want to call it, and giving this a quick tidy up. We just redid this room, what was it, last week? So I'm still trying to figure out what I want to do with this sideboard. You guys have left so many different comments about painting it, staining it, leaving it. I did have someone mention painting it the same color of the walls, and I thought that would kind of be a really cool option. So I might do that, but I am someone that doesn't like to jump to something without knowing for sure. So I am taking my time with it. Just as side. Oh, the other thing, a ton of people are wondering about water bowls for the dogs. So the bowls that are in the two bottom drawers for the dogs, those are just for when they're eating. So they get their fresh water and food whenever they eat, but they do have separate water bowls that stay out all day. So they are definitely not getting thirsty throughout the day. Actually, those water bowls have to be replaced regularly because Bailey is a drooly mess whenever he drinks water. Worse than when he eats. And as you can see, they are absolutely loving this new couch. But on top of the dogs loving it, the kids love it. I can tell you, every day since redoing this room, Bjorn has woken up early before school and is in here either reading a book or on his tablet relaxing before we go to school.
They don't know you like I do. Like I do. They don't know you like I do.
So you will see that I'm not like fully getting to the top of these sliding glass doors on a daily basis because yes, these glass doors have to be cleaned literally daily because of kid fingerprints and dog nose prints. On a daily, I don't grab out my little step stool to be able to reach all the way to the top. So that's why you see that I just go as far as I can reach. On the inside, it's easier. I can get all the way to the top without a little step stool. But you guys know I am short, sitting here at only 5'3". So I need a step stool often for things. But then just going into the dining room really wasn't that bad. But it needed to get tidied up and cleaned up in here as well. And then, like I said earlier, Freya is my little tornado.
I can't take no more. I miss your touch from your
You can see I already got the new pictures of the kids up. I actually did that like same day. So these frames I just, on that back brick wall, if you're wondering what I'm talking about. But those frames I just got off of Amazon. And I get the pictures printed right at Walgreens. I, in the past, ordered pictures from, I think it's Smallwood Frames. And don't get me wrong, I love their stuff. absolutely gorgeous. I actually still have those photos hanging up in the house. But I like to update the kids' photos and everything. So I just got black frames off of Amazon and I print them out right at Walgreens. This way I can change them out whenever I want. So definitely if you want a statement piece, the small wood frames are, like I said, gorgeous. I love them. But I am someone that I really enjoy taking the kids to get photos. I also like going places and doing it ourselves rather than hiring someone to take them or going to like a studio or anything. This fan though was so dirty. This fan is usually always running because we enjoy the circulation in the house. But I had turned it off and I had looked up. So I do know this is out of order. You should clean your fan before cleaning the table. But I had looked up and I'm like, okay, that's gross. I have to clean it off. So I ended up cleaning the table again after dusting because there was enough dust on everything. But I will say it is a little tricky to dust this compared to a typical light fixture or fan. You guys also always ask how I stay motivated, and it is just like you guys. I turn on cleaning videos. Currently, this is Jamie's journey, but I was cleaning all day, so I had a bunch of people on. I was watching Jessie from Jessie at Home. Jessie Christine was on. Just a bunch of different people. I was watching Lynn White for a while. But when I watch cleaning videos, especially if it's like an all-day thing, I will pick one video, usually what's the most recent that's come out from someone that I'm subscribed to, and then I just let it play. I feel like YouTube really knows me well enough that it's rare that I have to be like, okay, I don't want to watch this. Like, there are times that it will play a homesteading video, and I enjoy those videos. Like, YouTube knows I do watch different homesteading videos, but not while I'm cleaning. While I'm cleaning, I want on some cleaning motivation. Honestly, it's not even sometimes about watching it, but just listening. I love just listening and feeling like you're hanging out, as well as the music. I love the cleaning niche genres music. I feel like it's always upbeat and gets you motivated. And like I said, I am more into chit-chatty videos. The people that don't talk a lot in their videos, I'm not as into, because most of the time I just have it on playing and I am listening. So I personally like feeling like I am hanging out with a friend and not doing all this work all by myself.
Girl, come on, follow me once. Oh, I don't play rough. You know where you got me.
We had also had a Walmart delivery on this day, so I had to move the giant bag of dog food. We go through a lot of dog food, as you can imagine, so I was moving that and just putting it into the dog room till I had time to open it and dump it into their container. It always takes a little bit more work because I try and get down to like the very, very end of the dog food. That way I'm not leaving old dog food on the bottom. So I either have to rotate it or I wait till it's completely empty.
To be scared, I can be gentle. You don't need to stay that square. You're beyond compare. I want to celebrate, you know.
Also, talking about Walmart delivery, does anyone else like obsessed with the Walmart delivery? I had gotten into Walmart pickup way back when Bobby got deployed. So all the way back in 2018, and then COVID hit and like everyone jumped on the bandwagon. However, when we moved down here, I got pulled into the Walmart delivery, and it was so convenient because we were doing so much renovating and stuff that even just that little bit of time to go grocery shopping like was exhausting. And now it's pretty much all I do. I rarely go into a store nowadays. It's kind of depressing how rare I do. But I feel like it actually has saved me money paying for Walmart delivery because I'm buying a lot less junk since I'm not there seeing everything in the aisles. And then the last thing I had to get done on this day was move into our bathroom. I had actually had some Temu stuff delivered. If you watch our family vlog channel, you'll see that I had one order delivered, but this was another one. I got this cute little container to hold some of my Q-tips. I just loved the tiny little glass and just, I don't know, I thought it was cute. And then I got some cleaning brushes. I really liked the type of these brushes are. And I don't know, I love Temu. I mentioned that on our family vlog channel that it's one of those places that it seems too good to be true because some of the prices are just, I don't know, they seem insane. But I have learned if you look at the reviews and everything, you often can find nice stuff that works really, really well. This little egg looking soap dispenser caught my eye because you know how gross soap holders get, so the idea that it could easily dry and drip off, I got it for Bobby's side because I use liquid soap, but he usually uses a bar soap. And then I also got one for right in our shower.
Tell the stories you have heard and live your life today. It doesn't matter what they say.
Now, one thing, our toilet obviously doesn't get nearly as dirty as the kids' toilet, but Bailey loves sleeping in the bathroom. So the hardest part always about cleaning our toilet is the amount of dog hair. I have learned that I'm just never going to get every little piece, that even like when I dust beforehand, there's still hair left over. So if you are an animal lover like I am and have all your furry little friends, no, you are not alone with those fuzzy toilets. Getting some outside work done today because we just got done building a new quail cage. This one's much bigger, nicer, more secure. So we have it over here by the shed. Hi, babies. And the birds are all moved. The only thing we have to finish is the watering system. They have water in there, but it's not the nicer system. But we did that because we're gonna repurpose this one, make it stronger and sturdier. But I'm also just trying to get everything off this patio and make it a little bit nicer. You can see we painted the shed. I did that the other day. It looks so much better now that it's all just bright white.
You know you're everything. You know you're everything to me. Spitting shade in the cold is just my bad temper. What am I supposed to do? When the flames going hard with my bad patience, I hate it always falls on you. But you know it's not about our love fading. You know it's not about
lot I want to do out here. So I'm going to start working on this, try and get this backyard just a little bit of a refresh and cleaning up and all the jazz. But it's hot out, so it's going to be a hot one. So if you follow us on our family vlog channel, some of this you have already seen, but I know not everyone follows us over there. If you didn't know we had one, it's just Cambriea and Bobby. You get to see more of the behind the scenes stuff that, like, Bobby posts sometimes a little bit quicker than I can post, but also just some fun family stuff. A lot of just like Bobby and I hanging out type stuff. So yeah, if you guys are ever interested, look up Cambriea and Bobby. We do have that over there. But I was desperate just to get this area looking nicer. So we were moving the birds. Well, the birds had already been moved and everything. So I just needed to clean up this cage. My dad was coming over to help me move the cage because Bobby has recently had surgery, which once again, if you follow us on our family vlog channel, you know Bobby had gallbladder surgery and he is not supposed to be lifting heavy things. And this cage is very, very heavy. So my dad was able to come over and help me out with it. Bobby did still help me out with the backyard. Like, he was taking off some of the pieces on the cage that are able to come off and make it a little bit lighter.
Falls on you, but you know it's not about our love fading. You know it's not about.
I will say though, I absolutely love that our backyard's kind of turned into our little homestead setup. We got the bird cages, the ducks just free range in the backyard, which they love. They often stay out by the quail cage though. I think they do it because the quail are messy and they throw food around and they're always there catching the little bit of food. But we also let the ducks free range because, one, they're amazing free rangers and will eat all the little pests and things in your yard. Like, they'll eat bugs and lizards and frogs and small snakes and literally everything. Plus, it's just way healthier for them. So we let them out during the day. They're also bigger than like the mallard style ducks. So predator wise, for the most part, they're pretty good because our fence is fenced in. And where we did have an area of the fence that predators could get in, we recently fixed that.
Of our romance, you make me feel so alive. Always there in my mind. But I just don't know if I'll dance with the lights on. If you're gonna be moving on solo, wait a second, cause they're playing the best song. I'll be there if you reach out to me.
So I hold on to this little cage. It stays empty most of the time, but if we ever get an aggressive bird or an injured bird, it goes into this cage. So I wanted to give it a really good hose down and refreshing since it was empty again. But I always keep it on the side. We call it our hospital ward / birdie jail because one thing about quail, if you did not know, they can be vicious. Not always, but they can be vicious. And if there are too many boys to girls, the boys will fight, but also the girls will fight. If they get like overbred and stressed out, and like I said, they get vicious. It's bad. So we don't like keeping mean birds because it is a genetic thing, we've been told. So we keep our little birdie jail / hospital ward always there to the side. As you can see, between my dad and me moving this was very heavy. We took lots of breaks just trying to walk it behind the shed because, like I said, I didn't want it right on that patio. I was really trying to open up this backyard and make it feel more fresh and clean. And I actually like this so much more because our hose is over on that side of the yard. So when it comes to cleaning everything, this had made life so much quicker and easier. I originally thought keeping it over here by the door would be easier, but I am very happy about our move and rearrange of everything.
You're gonna be moving on solo. Wait a second, cause they're playing the best song. I'll be there if you reach out to me. Reach out to me. Reach out to me.
Gotta love Florida's just random afternoon downpours. I was trying to get all this done and then it just started coming down way too hard, so I had to just stop. The nice thing is it'll rain for like anywhere from 5 minutes to 30 minutes and then the sun comes back out. So I was able to just come back out later and finish cleaning off the patio and getting everything else done that I wanted to get done.
If I'm gone by now, all my weakness keep on linger on repeat like it will be my favorite song. Oh, I know I should be moving on, but you got me good. I keep on driving till it bends, still it feels like I pretend. Keep on driving and driving along the road.
So another part of the reason why we built the other cage is we keep sand baths in our quail cages because quails love sand baths. And we had the floor of one of ours break, which is why there's sand all over the ground here. I ended up just pushing it into the grass. It's something that with the rain and everything, it's just going to settle and the grass will grow around it. So I was just trying to get it all off. I also wanted to move the duck pond over here into the grass because the ducks are messy and I love them dearly, but I did not want their pond right by the door anymore. They actually have two ponds. They have one in their cage because they do get locked up at night just to be safe. They're safer in their home at night. But if they're wandering around the yard, that way they have two ponds. Plus the ducks kind of do better if there's only like 2 ducks in a pond at a time compared to all 3 of them. So they have multiple ponds. Hopefully when we get land, we'll have a nice big pond for them because I know they would love that. Muscovies don't use water as much as like traditional ducks, but they definitely still love their baths. After I had moved stuff around, though, I had decided, you know what, I want to really scrub down this patio. So I grabbed some outdoor cleaning. You can see the ducks are just always around. And then I scrubbed this down. At first, when I was doing it, I was like, oh, I don't know if this is really doing anything. But once it had dried, it looked so much better. I kind of felt like this was a waste of my time in the beginning. But like I said, once the sun had dried off the patio, it had taken out almost all the different staining and stuff. Some of it's just in there, like that black ring is from me spray painting something on the patio. But yeah, highly recommend if you haven't scrubbed your patio or front porch or something, do it. It can make a massive difference. I was very happy with the way this ended up looking in the end. However, you can definitely see how dirty it was just by the suds turning brown. It was definitely dirty. I, though, have never cleaned this slab, so it was in desperate need. I wanted to bring out the power washer, but honestly, I just did not feel like trying to find and dig it out of the shed on this day, so the hose and the brush was as good as it was getting this day. There's some days that I would have grabbed out, but I also knew there was other stuff I had to get done on this day. Actually, you're going to see it here in a second that I ended up working in the duck house as well, trying to freshen up their area.
Without you, 'cause I like the way when you're around in the morning, and I love the way that we fit out when it gets boring. You're the one I talk to when I hit my lows, and I am the one when you need just somebody right by your side, a body to rescue your mind.
I did also, but I did not get it on camera. After this had dried later in the day, I ended up coming out and recaulking all these seams. We had these windows put in a couple months ago, and it just happens over time as things settle once you've had something installed that the seams started popping. So like I said, I did not record it, but all of those seams ended up getting refilled. And I also have to get a fresh coat of white on it. You can see I painted it white, but then the wood absorbs it and everything, so it definitely needs another coat.
Surrounded, all up in your zone, I am surrounded. 'Cause I like the way when you're around in the morning, and I love the way that we fit out when it gets boring. You're the one I talk to when I hit my lows, and I am the one when you need just somebody.
Into the duck cage. So the reason I was going to redo this is, one, when I originally put these little well, they're just totes that Bobby cut a hole in so that the ducks had somewhere to sleep and nest at night, but I put them upside down. The issue being, if they ever laid eggs, I didn't want to just like blindly stick my hand in there. So I wanted to take them out, clean them off, put fresh bedding in. I'm also slowly turning their entire enclosure into just sand because, one, it is so much easier to clean, but it also smells better. You can put some fresh Saturday lime in here. Just a lot of great options. So I was using the sand we had on hand, which definitely was not enough, and just adding that in. But even after doing this little bit of the sand area, I'm definitely slowly going to turn this entire thing into sand. It just made it so much nicer in the end.
As you think, I'm trying my best to hold on, but I feel myself giving. You know that we shouldn't keep it up like this. We hurt each other's feelings on and on. I don't wanna change who you are. The things you say is always one step too far. But I know that I've played my part. I'm hurting you as well. I guess that we should say we're sorry. Say we're sorry.
It's funny though, when we first got the ducks, I was like, I don't know how I'm going to teach these ducks like to go home once I started letting them free range. The first like week or so, we had them just in this cage as they were getting bigger. But we ended up, when we let them out, I just had no idea how I was going to do it. Oh, this was exciting. This was literally the first egg ever that I found. Now the ducks have been laying for a little bit longer, but I was so excited. We did not eat that egg though because I did not know how long it had been sitting. It actually probably would have been fine because after I found it on this day, I found an egg every day since, and then started finding 2 eggs because both girls started laying. But like I said, I wasn't sure how long it was sitting, and I was not comfortable with sticking my hand into these containers and not knowing if there was a snake in there or anything, which was the whole point of taking these out and flipping them over, because now when I go and look for eggs, all I have to do is take the yellow off and I can easily see everything that I'm doing. Well, I really hope you guys enjoyed today's video. I know it was a long one, and I appreciate everyone that stayed till the end. It's always awesome to see everyone that stuck it out all the way to the end of the videos. But if you're new here, I would love if you would subscribe and hit that notification bell. Also, leave me a comment and share this video if you enjoyed it. Oh, and if you made it to the end, especially since this was a nice long one, leave me a flower emoji down below. That way I know everyone that made it to the end, because this was the end of my day. I was exhausted. Last thing to do was put some fresh pine bedding in for the ducks. That way they had a nice cozy place to sleep. Well, sometimes. The boy usually sleeps on top of the crates instead of inside the crates. But I'll see you guys next time. Bye.